colors and fonts can be saved between sessions in CasaXPS using configuration files in the CasaXPS.def directory. An alternative to the configuration files is that you can save specific display state using TFF files. So first of all, we'll illustrate how you can set up various colors and fonts and then save these to the CasaXPS.def directory. So displaying 4 tiles per page, and so we can now see that there is a display state which looks uniform for all 4 tiles, and we'll just now modify one of these. So we'll begin by just setting a background color of black, and you can immediately see that you lose a lot of information if you just set everything to black, because the fonts are also black, so you can't see them. So what we need to do is adjust the font color, and on the global tab there's a new option that lets you set the fonts for the header and the labels and the axes. So if we set a color and then apply that, all of the text then appears with the same color and the same font. So now we can go back and set the background color to black, and so we've now got a black background with green text. There's another option which is a global option, and that is the page background color, and when you set this, it will show clearly on this set of 4 tiles because it's the color that sits behind each one of these 4 tiles. But if we look at another file that contains a white background, you can still see the same page background color. Now when we double click, what happens is the tile display parameter dialog window, the last time it was used, those became the underlying default display options. So we now see this one as being black. This is quadrupole Sims data. So what we'll do is just load an element library that will be appropriate for showing that these are just molybdenum isotopes. And again, we'll just use these data as a means of understanding how settings can be adjusted and then saved. So we can alter a fill color, for example. This is another example of a color that can be saved between sessions. And once we've got this, we can then use the current settings to update the configuration files in the CasaXPS.def directory, and that's on the global tab. You just press these buttons and these all write the settings back to the configuration directory. So next time you start Casa, these colors will be brought up automatically. Now, as an alternative to using these configuration files that are between sessions and are loaded automatically, you can specifically set up a format. You can save the format, and then you can choose to restore the format as and when you wish to. So on the options menu, there's a temporary saving of the file format, and that temporary option can be restored using the options menu also. So we'll just adjust the display so you can clearly see what happens when we select the restore option. So go to the options menu and say restore tile format, and so we go back to the state when we said save. And the alternative to using the temporary one is to actually save a file. So you can save a file to the data directory that is a TFF file, and the TFF file will allow you, again, if we readjust the display so that you can see that something is happening, and go to the options menu and select the load and select the file and then say open, and again it restores the display state.